Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Ultimate Clash, and I'll be providing a rundown of how you can take on every single boss. But we'll be doing a live, in inverted commas, takedown and rundown of Broly. So Broly is tech type this time. It's super important. My build strategies for Ultimate Clash are mono based teams. So generally I take on bosses with teams that are full of the entire opposing type. So in Broly's case it'll be entire int teams, starting with a super team and ending with an extreme team. Broly is immune to stunning. He will do an AoE normal attack against all enemies, and when he launches a super attack he will increase his defense and his attack. Now there's important things to factor in when you're taking on Broly. Firstly, you can seal Broly but you cannot stun him. So you want to bring units that can seal. It's very important that you prevent Broly's super attack, because if he gets his super attack off, then you're going to face a much tougher Broly in the long run. Secondly, you can lower his attack and defense. This is also super important for a couple reasons. One, lowering his attack and defense prevents a lot of his AoE damage and allows you to control the fight really well alongside sealing, and also just stops like huge levels of damage and layers of damage overall. So pretty simple kind of stuff here. Obviously beyond that, the big kind of what if is making sure that you get the stun off or the seal off. If you do not get the seal off, then you're out of luck. You need to pray that you evade Broly's super attack, because not only does Broly hit mega hard with his super attack, but also I think it's like 500k or something like that. Yeah, I think it's 550 or 600k. No, it's even more. Must be even more, because we have type disadvantage. So it's very big. It's a very tough attack stat. And yeah, Broly will hit you very hard. Now the thing is, if you don't get the seal off, this is a problem. Now obviously you have some units that can definitely tank it. You can see right here my super team just completely fails off of the premise that I couldn't seal him. So that's it. Can't seal him, unlucky. So obviously that's something you do have to consider. The extreme team does much better, and there's a couple of reasons for this, but the primary reason for this is a combination of Android 16 being an exceptional tank, and also in general we have a pretty decent amount of attack lowering. I think every single unit here attack lowers, which is pretty nutty when you think about it. So yeah, I think for me overall I would probably say that the team does a very good job. So I was very happy with the overall performance of the team. There's some notable units that we're not using that I think you could use. One of them being Oceana Shenron. She's an exceptional unit here for a couple reasons. Oceana Shenron seals the opposition, which is very powerful. But not only that, but she also reduces their attack and defense as well, which is also very strong. And she has great synergy with units that reduce attack and defense as well. So she, alongside the Omega Shenron unit, is a very potent combination that you can utilize pretty much to rock, like really rock and dominate this event. Now obviously, a couple of things you do want to be aware of. So Broly's AoE attack will hit pretty hard. This is where your attack lowering is going to come in handy. It's not that he hits huge, it's not near like red zone level or anything like that, but it does hurt. It can hurt units, especially if you're running mono teams and you're running these kind of lower level lead skills. Yeah, you've only got 120% or 130% lead skill. Generally speaking, yeah, you do need to be aware of that. That is something that you want to obviously keep control of and kind of manage. So you can see there that Android 16 tanked really well, and well, I hate to break it to you, but that's the main reason why this run succeeded and the other one failed, because this run started the exact same way. We didn't have a sealer, we didn't manage to get a seal, and basically we're in big trouble. However, we managed to have an Android 16 tank the super. This was super important. And with that, we basically were able to set up the consistent like strategy. So the moment we got the seal, that was basically it. Once you are able to seal Broly, then you're able to get to work on him. And that's from a couple of perspectives. You can obviously lower his attack and defense. This is super duper critical. We have multiple attack lowering units on the team. We have obviously Android 16, which is very, very, very important for his tanking purposes, and of course the fact that he also lowers attack on his super. So Android 16, the way he works is he reduces damage received by 60% when guard is active. Because he is a tech type character, he always has guard active against he's an int type character, he always has guard active against tech type units. So that's why he's able to tank so well. He also lowers attack on his super attack, which is very imperative like overall. It's pretty huge and very important that obviously he has that capability, because it allows us to really start to control Broly. You'll notice how Broly is doing progressively less and less damage as we go along, and this is mainly because of our attack lowering capabilities. We have Android 16 who lowers attack. We have the Shadow Dragon Legion unit that lowers attack, which is a very good unit by the way, because they greatly lower attack on the 18 key, which is very huge. And then we also obviously have the ability to lower attack on our 12 key as well. So we're lowering attack kind of across the board, which is very, very good. And then on the other rotation, we have Captain Ginyu. Captain Ginyu acting as our sealing agent, which is very, very good, because we need the sealing capabilities to obviously keep Broly from firing off his super attack, because even with all the attack lowering, Broly's super attack will still hit us like a truck and we'll probably die. So keeping him sealed up is super important. Luckily Broly doesn't seem to favor the first slot, and that could definitely be this run, but it seems like you have a little bit of a window through which to always seal him. And because Captain Ginyu is fairly reliable, he tends to do well. And once you have a couple stacks of attack lowering happening, you don't need to worry too much about like the amount of damage Captain Ginyu is going to take beforehand. And yeah, basically that's the trend. You can see, overall, I think we had a pretty decent time. Nice number of free-to-play units being used as well. The Extreme team got the seal off. Both teams would have worked. It's just getting the seal off is the most important part. Try to obviously bring 2 seals, have them running in both the rotations, so that you're constantly keeping Broly sealed. That does, help you out a lot. Again, it's not mandatory, but it is something that I would suggest you are aware of. In terms of the Vegeta, the Android Cell Soccer Vegeta, he actually did some pretty decent damage, which I think was pretty good. Obviously with the AoE attack, it's nice because you can just stick him into kind of any slot, and then he will always get that kind of attack which will trigger his ability to fire off multiple super attacks, and then he's obviously got his ability to crit on top of that. So yeah, he looked pretty good. He did decent damage. I'm not going to say he looked amazing, but he did pretty decent damage. And then we had the Shadow Dragon Legions unit. Not only do good damage, but also actually get double stacks of attack lowering, which is huge. This reduces Broly's efficiency massively. We still probably would have died to a super attack. Like again, I cannot stress how much damage Broly does with his super. But the fact that we were getting Captain Ginyu to be able to seal every single time basically put us in an incredibly strong and powerful position. So it was difficult, obviously, to have our super team kind of immediately blown away. It's never appealing. You at least want one of your teams to do damage. But yeah, it is just one of those things. You are just gonna have to try and manage and work around these things, and basically try to get your teams to run fluidly and to kind of work functionally. And yeah, sometimes luck is just bad. We could have got supered by Broly both times. First slot, no seal, and we probably would have died. It just is what it is. Like, bad RNG can happen, so I can't really say that it won't happen to you, but if you follow this guideline, you should come out with the W. That's basically what I'm saying. So obviously that's Broly. Now we'll recap every other boss and talk about team builds and notable units from each team build so that you know which ones you need to pick when you're building your teams. So we'll start at the top with Chaozu. Chaozu is immune to stunning and he locks your characters in place, but there's nothing too crazy with him. You'll see I use the free-to-play Team Barlock team, and I even take 2 Cybermen because I'm trying to save slots and keep slots for other teams, but really easy. Vegeta is immune to stunning as well and also lowers attack with his super attack, but beyond that nothing too crazy. Again, not a very strong opposition because he's level 1, so we dealt with them with a pretty decent free-to-play team, or relatively, well, basically free-to-play team. Then we get to Mecha Frieza, immune to stunning, immune to attack lowering and defense lowering, and he will also lower attack on his super. This ceiling is great, it's great throughout this whole Ultimate Clash. Demon Goddess Poutine is actually very good here, and so is Babidi and Majin Buu, because of the fact that they both have the ability to seal, which helps to keep Frieza in check. For Tapion, he's exactly the same as Frieza, immune to stunning, immune to stunning, attack lowering, defense lowering, and he will lower attack on his super. Here I just overpowered him, but if you're looking for a sealer, the Dabura and Babidi unit is a great sealer, but make sure you only get their 12 key, that will help you keep them sealed. Then we get to Goku, who is immune to stunning, immune to attack lowering and defense lowering, and he will massively lower your defense by 50% for 1 turn on his super. It's imperative to keep him sealed. Luckily we have 2 great free-to-play options in the form of Zarbon and Dodoria, and Gildo. Both of them came in clutch, and we're quite easily able to handle Goku. Once you get him sealed, that's basically it. Then we have Gohan. Gohan is immune to stunning. He also can evade, and he will also lower your defense as well. But again, you can keep him sealed. Here, Chi-Chi was my main sealer. On the strength side, it's a little bit difficult, but you do have some very powerful counter arguments to that, with Pan being able to heal you up quite well. Then we have Bojack, immune to stunning. He will raise defense on his super, and he's immune to attack and defense lowering. Nothing too crazy with this guy. Goku and Arale kept him sealed up, and then the rest of the units pretty much quickly got rid of him. Super AGL being pretty strong. Goku and Arale is a good sealer, but again you need to make sure you only get their 12 key, otherwise you're not going to be able to seal them up. Then finally we had Super Saiyan Gotenks. Obviously here he is immune to stunning, he can evade you, he can fire multiple super attacks, and he also has the ability to stun you. Here you want to keep him sealed. We had 2 sealers and 2 great free-to-play sealers in the form of Master Roshi and in the form of the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 on their 12 key, Master Roshi on his 18 key. Remember that because it's very important. And then finally we come to Buu, or Super Buu, and he can evade your attacks. He has a very strong heal, and he can also stun you. What I suggest here is stunning Majin Buu. I had the Candy Vegeta for this. Otherwise you want to keep him sealed. So keeping him sealed will prevent him from chipping away at you, because he can do a surprising amount of damage. But that's it. That's it for Ultimate Clash. I hope this is able to help you guys out. Let me know in the comments if you're still struggling or if you need any further assistance, and I'll be able to help you guys out, hopefully, if you need it. But other than that, that's basically it. So thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.